Welcome to RX1 Nation Live with Clacton and Corbet. We are coming a little bit late this week, but hey, real life happens. Schedules
My
get
fault. I'll take the blame on that one.
no big deal. No big deal. It's not a race weekend. It's not a race weekend, so it's not as bad. You don't need this for your commute. Um, so we were just coming out of Portneuf, and let's go through the podiums to start out. All
Yep.
right, the pro podiums here. We got. Oh, hold on. Hit the button there. In third place, Michel Jean.
Michel Jean,
Jean, sorry,
the
Michel.
kid that went to the CrossFit Games, if my memory serves well, in 2021 as a 14, 15-year-old, if I'm not mistaken. So he's, I believe he's 19 today or something like that. But he went to the CrossFit Games, was 12 in the world, his finish.
Wow.
Yeah, if my research were good and right.
That's not, I mean, that's still, that's damn impressive. Like
Yeah, yeah. So,
getting the games for age group. It's
but
not like
that's and
it's
it was impressive to see that even with kids of 24, 25, 30-year-old, I mean, he still end up finishing third. So good performance from the kid. Usain Terban.
yeah.
Usain, yeah, Terban. That's yeah.
All right. And in second place, Emile Garant.
Yes, new guy, first race ever as a pro. I believe for Team Engine, and yeah, just a new on the tour now that we'll have to kind of look out for.
And in first place, Marc Tremblay. So again, just another great race out of him. But what I'm looking at here, so I was looking at the standings for the men. All right. And so you have right now you have Samuel Berrier and Simone Leduc tied for first place in the
Yeah.
standings. But realistically, Marc Antoine, he's only done two races, right? So he has a better average finish. So is he really the one sitting in the driver's seat right now?
Well, you have more. You have guys like Kevin Cosselin that only did one race. You know, you got many guys that only did one, and they're about to do two. Next week in Rigo will be the second race for of most of the pros from their Montreal region, and then they have their third in July. So for now, that standing, that overall standing with points, doesn't really say much. It says that Barrière and Leduc were consistent and did many races, but it's not reality so far as how it's going to look like at the end, you know. But yes, Marc-Antoine should be somewhere at top three, top four, most probably at the end of the season.
All right. Then for women in third place, and sorry, G. Gagnon Dufour.
Yeah, second medal she won this year. She had a podium in Gatineau the first race, and that was her second podium ever as a pro. 45-year-old, by the way.
40. Nice. You gotta
I
love
didn't know that she doesn't look like a 45, and so I learned about it last weekend in Portneuf. So with like there's a lot of women are asking for 35 plus in the pro as well. We're getting there. We can see this year is our best year. Like there's always at least 7 or 8 pro women. If we could get that to the average of always a 10 to 12 pro woman, I strongly believe that by next year, most likely we'll be able to add that pro 35 plus division.
Now, just as a thought, do you ever, and I mean, kind of off topic, do you ever think of like maybe dropping the weights or something almost like a semi-pro for that 35 plus? Just always keep it the same? All right, all right.
So it's going to be slower. That's all.
Apparently, that's a bad idea.
Not that it's a bad idea. It's just it's it's already complex enough. All our
Yeah.
changes in weights, you know, and we still want them to be proud to say, listen, I'm lifting the same thing as the open. And when we look at the standing as well, even with my clients here, we like to look at that as a 35 man. Did I beat some open? Where would I have finished in the open? It's the same race at the end, no? So we're able to compare performances that way. So at least
Oh,
for now,
I know I'm always checking the expert guys below me and the age groups below me after my races. I always
but
ask,
that's it. So
where to come there? Where to
I
come
don't
there?
want to take that away from the pros.
Yeah, second place, Vicky Boutin. Boutin.
Yes, Vicky, that's a girl we're gonna watch out for. She was a girl that had a hard time. Well, not hard time. She was not able to finish certain races if we go back 3 years ago, and she's been working her ass off every single year in months, and now like she was not I would say she was close to Marjorie, but it was the closest to Marjorie that she's ever been. You know, like she could see her. She was just a station behind her. I I would keep my eyes open for Vicky Boutin if she really, really put all the efforts that she needs to put until the final. She could be a real surprise and a new woman that with Marjorie and Evelyn and kind of settles herself with these girls, I think she really has the potential to do it.
All right, and in first place, Marjorie Lassard, who continues her string of, I guess that's 3 for 3 now. 3 wins, three races.
Yeah, that's despite a shoulder. She hurt her shoulder. I believe it was on the snatch that she hurt her shoulder, and so she kind of battled. Like she kept going like this, like and rotating
Mhm.
the shoulder the whole rep zone. Let's hope that it's just a minor injury, and she'll be okay for the rest of the season.
All right, now, and again, looking at the women's standings, Marjorie looking like extremely dominant, but I went back and then I looked at like Emily Moreau, and with what is it, three or four races left, and she's only 8 points behind. She could theoretically get a couple more wins, and then they would each have 3 wins. So how does the tiebreaker work in that scenario?
Well, she would have to. She would have because what we do this year is we take the three best results.
Yes.
Okay, so I don't believe Emily has she won one race that Marjorie wasn't there. That's true.
Yep.
She won one race, so she would have to win 2 other races that Marjorie is not there, or beat Marjorie at two others. So the odds are very slim. And after that, it's a head to head. Who has beat more the others? That's what
Okay.
tiebreaker.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at. So the next step, the tiebreaker would be head to head. Perfect, perfect,
I
perfect.
think Samuel would know that more, but I think the second one after who has the most second place,
Yeah,
and after that, third, it's kind of
down and
tricky.
down and down. All right, that's cool. Yeah, so I mean, as it is, yes, it looks like Marjorie is extremely dominant this year, but it is not theoretically over until it's over. Things can happen.
It's
I
not
mean, like
because
you say,
she did dominate in the past during a season and couldn't finish it in the finals. It's only the first time last year she was able to really finally finish like the whole job that she did during the year. So we never had the same except for Evelyn 2 years. It's always been a different winner in pros. We never had 2 times a guy winning the pro division, whatever man or a woman, except for Evelyn. She's the only one that did it.
that's amazing. And I mean, this is what, since 2012?
Oh no.
Almost 20.
Pros was like 2019, I believe, or 18. The season before. That was the season before the COVID.
Okay.
And you look at the proof of the pudding. You look at Sam Barrière that you were talking about earlier. He got beat fairly easily in Trois-Rivières by Yann McDuff, and goes Saint-André-Davelin and beats Yann McDuff, no problem. So it's from one race to another. Like you see a guy finishing 7 or 8. Don't think that he's a 7 or 8 really position. It really depends on the actual race. Like, did he had a good day? Did he had a bad day? The woman we're looking at the podium seems always to be the same every single race. We see like Sandrina and Dalia always finishing about the same, Gigi about the same, Emilia about the same. But the guys, it's been random all over the place. There's no consistency in the men so far.
No, well, it's like a horses for courses too, right?
Yeah,
Like you say,
yeah,
depending on what the layout is, like somebody might be really good at double unders per se, and somebody might suck at those, and that just be one of those deals, right? The programming and the setup of the race has so much to do with who maybe end up being on top.
yeah. And
Um,
it's been a talk lately too, like how as much as sometime when the race comes out, like the one you'll see on Sunday, we'll have a lot of people not angry but disappointed with because a certain part of fitness is not there at that race. But then it's so much at another race. So Jan's been doing a really good job at like mixing things up. So one race, some certain athletes have a hedge, and then the next race, it's not the same athlete; it's other athlete that has the hedge. So he's been doing a really good job as far as that, so that we always get. Yeah, you got to be on top of your game at every race so far.
yeah, and I think you got to look at the season as a whole and not race to race, right?
Exactly.
And the other thing, like I noticed that seems different to me from last year to this year is last year it was almost like the first race in each area was similar. You would have a similar test, and then the next race would be similar to
What
this.
it was.
Whereas this one is each race has been very, very different from the others. So it's like I said, that's where I think you really got to look at that season as a whole, where it's all one big thing as opposed to many
Uh,
areas.
the way he attacked it as let's make sure every first race of every region is about the same intensity. That's how he
Mhm.
went. But if we have people that went to get snow and then after that go to Montreal, we don't want them to do the same exact thing 2 races in a row because people have been traveling more this year. So that's why he's been doing different races, but at least with the intensity going from low to higher intensity as we go along in the season.
Cool. All right. Now, I heard that the run was a little bit shorter than originally planned.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Was that just a layout problem? Couldn't make it as long as we'd wanted?
No, I think it's more of a watch, a bit like what the same mistake I did in Trois-Rivières. It seems like sometimes like because we walk, we go back and forth. I mean, it's been a watch mistake. It's not an on purpose mistake. It's not the fact that there was not enough trail. It's a watch that says 4 kilometers, but it ended up not being the four. So
A GPS thing.
that's it exactly. It's more of that.
Yeah. You can never trust those bloody things. They're
Well,
terrible.
it's weird. It's like it's you wonder why one thing yes or the other thing and I always say don't try to overestimate when you do the thing. Like you rather
Mhm.
do it. Worst comes to worst, it will be less. But yeah, this one was quite off though. That was a good 800 meters missing.
Yeah, well, and that happens sometimes. I've done virtual competitions where people will run on a track and use their GPS and it'll be like, let's say a mile. It should be 4 laps and they're stopping at like 3 1/4 laps because their GPS says so. And it's like, yeah, sometimes those things let you down. So it's just a guess. It's close.
Yeah, that's probably what happened to the games. Remember that 5 kilometers that they ran,
Yep.
and then they're like all amazed by the time, but it ended up being a 4 point something. So they probably had the same issue. But what I'm thinking is getting that whole the whole roulette. The roulette that you.
The
That's what I'm
wheel.
thinking of. I'll be walking anyway. Might as well walk with the with the roulette, and we'll get the truth.
I actually, so no word of a lie. So when I did Murph, my block is of almost exactly 800 meters.
Okay.
So it's almost exactly a half mile. And I did wheel it. I have a wheel,
You
just
did
but
that.
it's a small one, and I wheeled the block in it because first I went on maps and did a point plot, and it was right very close. And then I did the wheel, and it was pretty damn close. It was pretty accurate. All right. Oh, and I heard there was a vinyl on for the wall walks, and that made a big difference.
Final.
Like a different material on for the wall walks.
Oh, you didn't see that one yet, huh? You
No,
didn't
I
see.
hadn't seen it. No, no.
Oh, we didn't have it in Gatineau the first race, but every single race after we had it a vinyl on top of it. It's not really to help anything. It's more look wise. It looks really, really good, but I don't think it makes a difference as far as
Oh,
slippery or not slippery
I was
or.
well, it might have just been the conditions, but actually, Robbie, he told me he liked it a lot better. He said it
Yeah,
felt a lot
okay.
better that way.
Yeah.
I mean, he just said he liked the wall walks a lot better at this one than he did at the first one. So
But it was dry. It was hot and dry. So I mean, there was a bit more grip just from how hot the whole thing was, and it gets snow. It was rainy and slippery, so
yeah.
I can see why you would have liked it better.
All right, now who is our team of the day?
Team of the day on that day. I mean, it went very quietly. It has to be Bullet Fitness in Quebec. You had X Crew. Oops, just lost you.
No, you
Oh,
should be
back.
there.
Okay, perfect. Yes. So we had X Crew, AJ Kin that they as far as what we look as a commentator, they look like the team that would just ravage the day. I kept saying this guy from this team and this girl from this team, but Bullet Fitness kind of quietly left and right did a lot, a lot of damage, and they needed to. I even talked to the coach prior, to the captain Martin Boulet, and I told him, I said, if you don't score today, if you screw up today, forget finishing top five and go for the big cup. So you got a big day, and the team responded. The team responded, so they climbed themselves up. Overall in the standing, I think in points, I believe they're second overall in points. But I put them fifth in the power ranking just because Les Costauds have been done. They're one race missing. McDuff is one race missing.
Yeah.
And also because Boulette has two of the three races with not that many teams, because they're remoted in Quebec. So I think they're a good team, but I don't think they're as a powerhouse as much as the top four that we see right there. And I'm sure Martin is listening to this right now, and he's gonna send me a little messenger right after this.
Well, I mean, it does show too, right? Like X Crew jumped up 3 points and Boulet up 1 point. Um, so yeah, it does show in the ranking still that they had great performances. Um, yeah. So from there, and like I said, I wasn't able to see this week, which is a little disappointing. Who do you jumped out? Was there anybody who jumped out and just had like a great performance or was really pushing through and battling through?
Well, we had the one battle I want to mention is an intermediate woman, 1834. We have Maika Dion that's been really dominating the intermediate woman, 1834. And on that particular in Portneuf, there were four in the last rep zone on the bars. So from the first place, Maika Dion, to the fourth place, Sarah Lozon, I believe she was about 5 reps left, and the other one was starting her bar. So They were four, all pretty close to each other. If you look at the time, there's under 2 minutes between one and four. So Maïka Dion finished first, Catherine Dion finished second, but the battle was between Véronique Lacombe and Sarah Lozon. And there was 5 reps left on Sarah Lozon, 1 rep left on Véronique Lacombe, and Lacombe dropped. She did her clean, and she dropped the bar. It slipped away
Oh,
from her finger. And then Sarah Lozon saw that, and then she just piled her reps and the reps. It was 4, 3, 2, and then they kind of did almost their one together, but she was a bit further from the finish line than this girl, so they both sprinted, and Veronique, I think, got it by 1 second, I believe, not even a second, 0.04 of a second.
oh,
So that was that's what I would say that was the greatest battle of the day. These four intermediate movement. But as far as one particular performance, um, one that stands out. Oh, it has to be it's Shirley Morancy. Shirley Morancy in the expert woman. It's her first time. I think it's 35-44. It was her first time doing a race as an expert. She was intermediate. And that was with Karina Audet from Squad Team Chaos. That was in that mix. That was a hell of a battle, Dave. But that was a good performance for a woman that never did it expert. Come out there, she had good competitors against her, and to be able to beat all these girls at her first race. I mean, that had to be the performance of the day. And there's another one I have to give, Lydia Lavoie. Lydia Lavoie, I believe them. They are. I don't want to. I believe it's 45-54. Not sure. I'm not sure. But it was against Joanna Gay. It's 18-34. Sorry. Under 18-34 against Joanna Gay. Joanna Gay has won every single race. She's 4-4, but it's the first time that she had pressure. She had pressure from that girl, Lydia Lavoie from Quebec. I believe she runs for ex-crew Ajikin. And she kept like just pushing her and pushing her and pushing her. And it's the first time that I would see like Joanna really completely like dead at the end of the race because of the pressure that she got. So congrats to Lydia Lavoie with an amazing performance.
nice, nice. That's awesome. And I love, like you say, always a thing for me. I love seeing the people jump up a division and give it everything you can. I love that. I'm all about competing at the highest level you possibly can. Yeah, just hits home for me. I love it. So we're heading to Mount Rigaud next. Mount
Yep.
Rigaud's, I love that spot. Good climb. We're on a ski hill. We're a little more OCR background for me. Hopefully we can put some rope climbs and monkey bars in the middle. I don't know, but
Those, those
so I don't expect that, but I am expecting, and this is I don't have any information, so don't put any money on this, but I am expecting to see crossovers because I don't think Yan would have put the warning out if he wasn't going to throw them in. So I'm expecting to see crossovers, and I'll tell you what, I would rather them than the double unders from a personal perspective. I'm all about that.
it's been a funny topic because we had a few message like coming in saying it was not on your standard and we signed up as an expert and now you're going to charge us if you want to change category and blah 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 blah. And the reason we had it is take half an hour in the gym and you'll do them. Like it's not a skill that takes time. It's a skill just put half an hour on it and you'll be doing single cross. That's the reason we're comfortable adding it in the middle of the season like that. We wouldn't have done it, say, muscle up all of a sudden for expert. That you don't learn that in half an hour. But a single cross, I mean, just jump on it, do it 4 or 5 times in a week, and you'll master them. Like they're not hard to learn, and especially we had our amateur woman and amateur man here learning it so quickly too. So why not an expert can't learn it? So for us, we're backing that addition fairly easily, but it is something that will change a bit in our standard next year, where we're gonna write an expert or any categories that we can add a new exercise. Not change a standard. If we say that there's no chest to bar for an expert, well, we're not going to add chest to bar. We said there was not going to be any, so we'll
Mhm.
respect those standards. But any new exercise could be added during a season if we think that everybody can master it if they just practice. But obviously, with kind of a heads up, prior to adding it.
Yeah. Yeah. So for there, get your skipping rope ready, get your trail shoes ready. We're gonna be going up and down.
Well, in Rigo, I mean, it's on l'appelle en français la montée de la mort. Like the death going up the death hill or whatever you say in English.
Death
But la
March.
That's it. I mean, when you go under that chairlift, it's carries and carries and carries, and it's been like that for years and years and years. Like it's a bit of a tradition there in Montreal. So whoever has a good grip, like a good endurance and the gripping will do great at it. And running, I mean, you run, yes, the mountain, but mostly you're walking it because you're carrying so many things, and so that you end up walking it mostly than running it. So whoever's a good mountain runners definitely will have an edge because most people will walk it. But it's a classic, and people enjoy it every year.
Now, what I saw last year was it was still decided in the rep zone and very much on the double unders. If you had your double unders last year, it was a big deal. So
That's that was 100% right. It was the deal breaker was under double unders last year.
yeah. All right. So I think that's good. We're looking forward to seeing everybody else in Mount Rigaud. Very excited. We'll be there. And I'll be watching to see who does who has that killer performance, who's just digging in and doing extra. I love watching that. I'll be
Let's
paying
do that.
attention for that one. All
Let's
right,
do that.
Seb.
All right, we'll
That's it
see
for
you on
me.
Thursday. Take care, man.
Long course, everyone.
All right, ciao.